You have to act like a millionaire before you're a millionaire. You have to act like a multi-million-dollar business before you're a multi-million-dollar business. You got to act like you have the financial freedom before you have the financial freedom. Don't be stupid with the money. A millionaire is not stupid with their money. They're smart with it, but they get out of that cycle of wants versus needs. Money. It's something that I used to dread talking about. I used to dread asking for, and I was terrible at receiving. That's not the case anymore. I love talking about money, so much so that that's what today's podcast episode is on. Money. I love receiving money. I'm getting much better at it, and I love asking for it. All right. So to get to this point, it's been a journey, and I'm not going to dive into the journey on this episode. It's going to come into pieces all throughout multiple episodes. But this one, I want to talk specifically about 5 money blocks, or 5 signs that you have money blocks. Okay. And the reason why I want to talk about this specific topic today is because I saw somebody post this over the weekend, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly me. Like, this is how I feel. It's a conversation with them and God. So God says, I want you to talk about money. Me? What? No, that's so mundane. I want to talk about peace, love, and joy. God says, people cannot get to peace, love, and joy if they cannot feed their family and pay their mortgage. Me. Looks like I'll be talking about money. So, here I am. I'm talking about money. And I want to talk to you about 5 specific ways that you know you have money blocks. All right? Maybe I'm going to add in a 6 here in my notes, because number 1, you complain about price increases. Okay? Now, let me get back into my notes here again, because there was a specific post inside a Facebook group where the post was getting, there is a Systemic Formulas company. It was their Facebook post as I'm reading it here. And they talk about how they're introducing price increases because of their everything else that's happened. Okay. Now, can I just go through these comments here? Because every freaking comment, most of them anyways, is money block galore. Money block, money block, money block, money block. All right. So number 1 comment. Would be nice if shipping was a little less. Hard to justify as it is, but businesses got a business, I guess. Oh gosh. And then we got, I second that. I agree. I think their shipping's pretty reasonable. Blah, 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 blah. That is money blocks like crazy. And our colleague, you guys are my colleagues, complaining about a company raising the price tag on supplements. Do you know how many times I've raised my price tags on programs? Those are money blocks. If you complain about price tag increases, you are experiencing a money block. If you need to shut off the freaking news to do it, do it. Okay? All right. Are we just getting a 24-hour notice? Is there an updated price list? And then this is one of the best ones, which is, I think, hilarious knowing who it comes from, because this is a prime example of money blocks written all over this individual. And the crazy thing is there's an MD next to his name. Another money grab by a corporation. Money block, money block, money block. And I can tell you the same individual has entered every single free event of mine and never paid for a thing. Money block, money block, money block. And yes, I pay attention. Okay. It's not the small companies. It's Nestle, BlackRock, and Vanguard. Nestle's bought Nature's Garden and Pure Encapsulations and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right. So, if you complain about price increases, you are experiencing a money block. And it's up to you to work on your internal relationship with money in order to overcome that money block. Next, You always attend free things, but you never pay for anything. Literally, that post on Systemic Formula's Facebook page instigated this podcast episode. Because holy smokes, were there money blocks written all over it, and those same exact people have money blocks plastered all over every single thing that they do, and then they wonder why they can't run a business or why they're not being successful with selling their programs. You are who you are. Who you attract is who you are. So if you don't pay for something yourself, you better not believe somebody's going to pay for your services. Hard truth, but it's the truth. Another money block, telling me my prices are too high. Okay, can I give you an example of an email I received? I almost busted out laughing because this email I had received, I don't even know how she got my email, but she literally paid for the patient blood work program that no longer exists for many reasons, but it was like a 2-hour training where I taught the lay public how to read their blood work. All right, for a couple $100. It was no big deal. So the practitioner emails me and says that she feels like she was quote unquote gaslighted because she purchased this blood work course in which it didn't come with protocols. And if you were to watch this on video right now, you can see my face. You gave $297 or something. You bought this program and you're wanting a $7,500 practitioner course out of it. Forget it. And then the best part is she starts to compare what she paid for my program with somebody else's program. Money block! I don't care what other people are charging for their services. I have never, ever, ever once gone on and compared what I'm offering to FDN or Isaac Jones or whoever the hell else wants to be out there. Freedom Practice Coaching, Yuri, I don't care. You name it. I've never, ever, ever compared my price tags. Why? Because I am confident in what I am offering at the price tag I am offering it at. It means that is the money, that is the energy exchange I will accept. I will put into this energy if you give me this energy in return. So if you are comparing, we're going to have many more than 5 or 6 money blocks in this one. If you are comparing price tags and you're trying to figure out apples to oranges, you have a money block. Like, for example, when I go on a sales call myself, someone's on a sales call with me to get them inside their program. I have never, ever, ever once said, well, Lori Kennedy does this and you should do that. Or, guys, those are money blocks and our field is ridden with them. If you're telling me my prices are too high, you have a money block. If you're telling somebody else that their prices are too high, you have a money block. I know people who have $40,000, $50,000 packages for their one-on-one patients. Don't tell me that people don't have money. They have money for what they want and what they desire. That same person who tells you that your programs cost too much is the same person who's buying their Apple phone the day it comes out. Okay, here's one to think about. I am versus I can statements. All right? The story you tell yourself will be your reality until you decide to change the story. And it has to start in your mind first. So I have a team member who was asking me about money and how I've gone from where I was to where I am. And I said, it literally starts in your mind. That whole concept of think and grow rich, it literally is that simple. But you have to change what's going on in your mind first. And then you have to go back and do all the dirty work and heal all the inner child in yourself. Because somewhere you as an adult picked up all of these money blocks in your childhood. Okay, so when you say, I am not able to do this program, that's a money block. Versus, I can find a way to do this program, there you go. Now, I was sitting on a sales conversation with an individual who I mean, you guys, the crazy thing is like when I feel that this is something right, I'm going to just move forward with it. I've done this on 2 occasions now, where literally a Facebook ad has popped into my view, and I like, okay, I'm going to click onto this. Like, what have I got to lose? It's $97. Like, who cares? So I click into it. I go down the funnel. My rule with Facebook ads is to never buy the upsell, right? If they want me on a sales call, fine. I'll do the sales call. But I never buy like, oh, get this thing for another $200 and get this thing for another $75. Like, no. I want your $47 thing, whatever it is. And that's it. So that's just my rule, because literally I buy something on Facebook, my Facebook ad at least once a week. If you want me to buy something, put it in front of my Facebook feed, okay? So I get in this $97 like Facebook done for you ad thing. And I just launched my book, Why Are My Labs Normal? So I thought, okay, well, I'll run this Facebook ad with this agency or whatever. Technically was an agency. And I'll sell my book that way. Well, I get onto the sales call, and $97 turned into $60,000 with one sales call. One 30-minute call. Now, was the salesman good? Oh, yes, they were good. But the difference was I wanted the results from the $60,000 program, not the $97 program, or even the $25,000 program. I wanted the results that came with the big ticket program. So I did it. It was my very first time I've ever gone over $50,000 in an investment outside of buying a house. That was like me and an investment in myself and my business. And you better believe I turned that $50,000 into $500,000, because that's the way I roll. I 10x everything. I did it quite quickly because I was able to take action fast. I do that. I mean, I'm a fast action taker. So if you're a fast action taker, like, come into my world, because I'll teach you how to do it. I'll teach you what to do and where to take that action and do it fast. But if you have money issues and you have money blocks, that is like a huge factor in your success as an entrepreneur, in life in general, honestly. So I was talking to my assistant about, like, okay, well, I read, like, here's a book to start reading, and literally every time you go to the store, so here's my tips on how to start rewiring the brain for money, all right? Every time you go to the store, she's celiac disease. So every time she goes to the store, it's like, instead of a loaf of bread being $4, it's now $8, and it's a fourth of the size. So mind you, when I go to the grocery store, I don't even pay attention to the numbers. I couldn't tell you what I paid for 5 dozen eggs or a gallon of milk last time I ever bought them. Like, I don't even pay attention. I don't pay attention to the gas fee when I'm filling up my gas. It's just like, okay, put it in my car. Like, I need it. I don't care what the price tag is. I will find a way to fulfill it on all ends. All right. So the first thing that you have to do to get to that level is to say, whether you have the money or not, that's a whole different story. Like, you have to act like a millionaire before you're a millionaire. You have to act like a multi-million-dollar business before you're a multi-million-dollar business. You got to act like you have the financial freedom before you have the financial freedom. Don't be stupid with the money. A millionaire is not stupid with their money. They're smart with it, but they get out of that cycle of wants versus needs. So one of the ways to get out of this cycle, which is another money block, like if you're worried about what you need and never actually worrying about what you want, there's a different story. Okay, let me give you an example of this in my own life. Wants and needs. When you get into the world of wants, you start to attract a lot more. You start to realize your worth is a lot higher. We've now gone from the $7,500 functional leatherwork specialist program to it being like $10,000, and it is going to be the bomb. All right, if you haven't jumped into it, come join us in May, because it is going to be phenomenal. The things that we've just added to it is like, but I can talk about $7,500 and $10,000 and $75,000 and even $100,000 programs and $1 million program and a $10 million business. And my heart rate never changes. I can ask for $7,500 from each person that are listening to me on a live workshop. There's 250 people on there. It doesn't even faze me. Why? Because I know my worth. I know what my programs are worth. I know they are stellar. And I have a very safe relationship with money. In fact, I have a very safe relationship with being told no too. And you got to get to that point when you're doing sales. Like, you actually want to seek out for the no versus the yes. But again, a topic for a whole other conversation. So the needs versus wants. Right now, my husband and I are working on mapping out a shop and a pool and like the rest of our yard. Okay. Our shop and our pool together in the yard, we're planning on like $500,000 budget. And I hate the word budget. Like, if I want something, I will go figure out a way and create it so I have it. I don't live on this Dave Ramsey budget thing. It just not me. It's never worked for me. It never has. I will go create what I want to create because I know how to do it. I have invested at least $1 million in my business and myself to get me to that point to where I can do it. I've invested more money in running a business than I ever did to get my doctorate degree. Something to think about. Okay. So we're planning this yard of ours, our dream yard. Now, when we're looking at a pool and the options for a pool, now here's the problem at my house. We have a 5-foot deep water level, which is kind of funny to say when you live in a desert. But you can't dig very far before you hit the water level. So that makes my 12-foot pool eliminated. It's impossible. Unless I like build walls up for 7 feet, but then it's like higher than the fence. So I have like a 5-foot limit. We're going to basically go 4 feet under, 4 feet deep, maybe build a foot or two higher. So we have a 4.5 foot deep pool, which is fine because we're making a sport court, and with little kids, I can hold my baby in my arms and still be in the water. And I love the water. So as long as I can swim, like whatever. That said, it's not just going to be some simple pool because we're going to make it as low key, as low cost as possible. I want to have a pool to swim. My husband wants a spa effect. So we've found things that I don't even know what they are, but like these like flower things that spout water, like it may have a waterfall, and yet they have like the pretty colors, the pretty lights at night, and I don't know what else he has found, but things like make it feel like a spa. Now, mind you, we're in Utah. We've only used the pool for like 5 months out of the year, but who cares? We want a pool. We're going to have a pool. He wants to have this shop in which you can have an ADU unit on there. I don't think it's necessary, but whatever. It's like, okay, well, if that's what he wants and the pool still fits with some spots for grass, which we're going to put turf in the backyard. So in the spots that we don't have cement from a building or a pool, there'll be some turf to put like trampoline in the playground in for the kids. And then the front yard will have real grass. Okay. So this is the plan. Now, these are total wants and desires. We don't have $500,000 to just hand over and get started with it. But when you live in that mode of wants, you are attracting a lot more to you than ever surviving in the world of needs. So if you're only focused on your needs, I want you to start thinking about your wants and actually truly think about your wants as if they're going to come to you. I'm going to have that pool and that fancy spa thing with the fire pit and and the gazebo, whatever the heck else he wants, plus the shop, plus I'm going to have it. It's just a matter of when. Is it going to be this summer? Is it going to be next summer? I don't know, but it's going to happen. And last night, or a couple nights ago, Andrew and I were having like this, a deep spouse conversation. And I relieved the pressure off of him because he was like, well, you just always want to have it right now. I'm like, yeah, well, I want to have all the things like yesterday, but that's me. Thank you. Like, you've been married to me for almost like literally 9 months, 9 years next week. So pretty soon, actually, when this airs in April, will have passed 9 years. But to realize that I don't have to have it now. Like, you don't have to go out and kill yourself with the roofing season and put all this pressure on you now. It's just a matter of when. Like, we know how to create. We're really good at creating and attracting. We have stellar programs. He puts on a stellar roof. He gets referrals out the wazoo when everybody else is really struggling to bring in roofs and without a storm. Andrew's just always busy. Always got these roofs. He's fallen into his lap. So it works on multiple levels. Okay. So figure out your money blocks. Fix them. Let me talk about two other things here too. So we've talked about a few money blocks: complaining about price increases, always attending free things but never paying for anything, telling me or someone else their prices are too high, using I am statements versus I can statements. Next time you catch yourself doing that, I can do this. Did I have $60,000 sitting in my bank account to hand over for that program? No. I had like $29,000 at the time, which I was like, okay, I can do 10,000 and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it back, and then some more. And I did it within like the next 6 weeks. But again, leveraged debt, leveraged a credit card to do so. So then I get a phone call from an individual who I really admired and who now we are friends because I've done the work as well. So I can look her in the eye. We're equals. We are people are people are people. Listen to that episode. Okay, same person. She calls me up and she says, "Hey, Kylie, I'm launching this book here in a few months. Would you be okay if you ordered 100 for me? I'll take care of all the shipping. Just order 100 and tell me where they're going and I'll ship them." Oh wait, you're gonna take care of all the shipping? Because I was gonna buy 100 of them anyways to support her. Guys, 100 books came out to be like $2,600 to buy the same book, 100 of them from one person. That's what happens when you don't have money blocks. She calls me up. She says, "Hey, I'm basically asking for my support. I was going to support you anyways, but now that you're taking care of shipping, here you go. Here's a list of addresses. Send away." I bought 100 of them. Fast forward 2 months later, she's closer to her book launch, going live. I text her assistant. I said, "Hey, Sarah, I need some more books. Got some more books for me?" "Yeah, let me talk to her really fast." Comes back. "Kylie, what if you get 100 books? 100 more books?" "Well, I only need like 65 right now." "Sure, I'll buy 100. "Wait, you know what? We're launching the same thing in a couple months, so why don't I just buy more books up front? So let me buy 150 books. I literally bought 250 of the same exact books. I probably still have 75 sitting in here, but they're going to be welcome gifts for people because it's so cool. All right. I don't have money blocks. I did. I had lots of them, actually. That's what happens as a result of, I'm like, okay, money is currency. Let's keep the current flowing. Yes, I'll get those. Yes, I'm going to get this. And more is just going to come because I'm doing the work. I've got the business set up in such a way that it can come in like that, which is important. Like, I believe you can have it all, but you must have a business set up to have it all. If you don't, you're entering my world quickly. Other things I do often when I'm running Facebook ads, people, when I start telling them about Facebook ads, like, well, I only have like $1,000 to run an ad. Okay, well, that's a great starting point. That's a money block. When you're telling me that you only have $1,000 or $300, like, that's great. That's a great place to start. But if you want to run a DIY program or a group program, that means quantity of people. So I run Facebook ads off of credit card debt. I live and breathe and leverage debt so many freaking times a month. It's unbelievable. So don't be scared. When you have the back end set up, the credit card, the debt, the Facebook ads, the ads in general, it works. But you got to have the back end set up. And you got to have your relationship with money to a point where you can actually convert in those sales. All right? So come join me. Enter my world. Let's start removing your money blocks, as well as build the business of your dreams and make clinical freaking easy. That's what we do around here. Okay? So where are your money issues? Where are your money blocks coming up? Start rewiring the brain. Tell yourself a different story. When you go to the grocery store checkout, before you hand them your card, you say out loud, I don't care who's around you, when I spend money or when I invest in money, because you're investing in groceries, when I invest in money, it always comes back to me multiplied. Say that over and over and over and over again until at some point you believe it because it's starting to come true. You're starting to see it in your life. Okay? In my house, we like to call it magic money. So the other day, Andrew sends me a text. We just got more magic money. I'm like, oh, what is it? It's going to pick up material for a roof, and the guy at Lowe's loading it on knows that it's more than Andrew purchased, but he's so sick of those dang teenagers, that's what he was saying, not doing their job right and counting, just take the whole pallet. So we got like 16 sheets of wood or something like that. I can't speak construction language. He tells me like, the fascia and this on the roof. I'm like, whatever, it's just a roof. It's like me trying to talk chiropractic or functional medicine or running what I'm doing from a business perspective to him. No, we stay in our own lanes and it works out well for us. So, okay, find your money blocks, overcome them. See you next week.